Republic Act No. 11035 or the Balik Scientist Act, an act institutionalizing the Balik Scientist Program, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. The Balik Scientist Act, or RA 11035, swayed by a combination of push factors, includes low salaries, lack of meritocracy, and political instability. And pull elements includes attractive remuneration, favorable visa policies, and active recruitment. Thousands of professionals continue to leave the country every year. Because of the inability to provide such a conducive environment, the country has suffered tremendous loss of local capacity in fields critical to development, with debilitating effects on national governing structures, management capabilities, productive sectors, and tertiary institutions. As early as 4 decades ago, the government had introduced programs to deal with the brain drain in the country and also to boost research and technology and foster knowledge sharing, among other things. Presidential Decree 819, dated October 24, 1975, established the Balik Scientist Program, or BSP, to encourage overseas Filipino scientists and professionals to return to the Philippines and share their expertise to accelerate the scientific, agro-industrial, and economic development of the country. The program aimed to strengthen the scientific and technological human resources of academic, public, and private institutions in order to hasten the flow of technologies and stimulate the development of new strategical important technologies.
Now, the question is, who are under this act? Foreign-based Filipinos or foreigners of Filipino descent with graduate or advanced degrees and internationally recognized experts in the priority sectors of Department of Science and Technology or DOST who are willing to come back and serve on a short-term, medium-term, or long-term basis. But an applicant without a graduate degree but with a highly specialized skill or exceptional expertise may also be qualified in special cases as long as his or her field of expertise is consistent with the science and technology priorities promulgated by the department. They are encouraged to return or reside in the Philippines and share their expertise in order to accelerate the scientific, agro-industrial, and economic development of the country. All Balik scientists under the short-term, medium-term, or long-term engagements shall be eligible for certain general benefits, incentives, and privileges. Some of these are exemption from the licensing or permitting requirements of the Professional Regulation Commission or the PRC. Second, the accident and medical insurances. Third, the reimbursement of expenses for excess baggage allowance related to scientific project activities. Fourth, the exemption from renouncing their oath of allegiance to the country where they took the oath. Fifth, the tax and duty exemption in the donation of equipment, instruments, and materials to the DOST. And lastly, the tax and duty exemption in the importation of professional equipment, instruments, and materials of the Balik scientists.
According to data made available to Business World, the Department of Science and Technology's Balik Scientist Program, Balik Puso Balik Pilipinas, was funding 28 returning researchers as of November. Since its inception 45 years ago, the Balik Scientist Program has supported the return of 555 scientists. The initiative considers scientists based in other countries who are willing to return to the Philippines for short-term assignments. According to Laura T. David, Executive Director of the University of the Philippines Marine Science Institute or MSI, a number of Balik scientist projects were placed on hold this year due to the lockdown. The scientists were allowed to complete their projects after the travel restrictions were eased. For the meantime, they made it easier for them to transfer their lectures online. Filipino scientists, technologists, and experts are encouraged to return to the country and share their expertise through the Department of Science and Technology's Balik Scientist Program or BSP.
This program has given our scientists opportunities and benefits which can lure them to come home and serve for the country. As what has been said, our country is in need of more innovations, and we do need every scientist of our own to help us develop our way of living. Through our scientists, new discoveries, new technologies, new equipment, and new knowledge and information will arise that will give way to the advancement of our country in the field of science and technology. Without this program, our country will continually be behind other countries and will eventually be behind the time we are in right now. Other countries will only benefit from our scientists while their own country remains in the shadows. Thus, this program, which allows scientists to have a better way of living while they're here in the Philippines, not only benefit them but also us Filipinos and most especially our country. More scientists means more innovations, and more innovations means more developed country.